Welcome to Hickman County High School's Throwback Thursday with special host Elijah Hemingway.
Welcome back. My name is Elijah Hemingway, and it is once again Throwback Thursday. On this particular occasion, we throw it back to the year 2000. Particularly a clip from Mike Smithson covering the miraculous sport of baseball. It's a clip that is meant to be enjoyed by all sports ball fans, and so you shall watch it as such. Roll the clip.
A very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Mike Smithson Show. The tournament edition is this week. The Bulldogs opened the district tournament along with me, Coach Mike Smithson, the head skipper for the Bulldogs. And Coach, new season starts all over, tournament time. Talk a little bit about first your preparation for tournaments. How do you go into that? It gets to be a real short season if you don't do well.
Yeah, it really is. It's a brand new season, like you said. You can throw out all the records. It doesn't matter how you've done against teams during the season. Most tournament games are low-scoring, one-run games, and the way we try to prepare is we want to be physically ready to play, but we also want to be mentally ready to play. And what I mean by that is being able to do the little things, to sacrifice bunts, stealing some bases, taking some extra bases on the balls where outfielders don't hustle. So we know the games are going to be close, so we want to do everything we can to get as many runs as possible, play good defense, and pitch well.
The Bulldogs finished second during the regular season behind Marshall County. The Bulldogs had 2 district losses. They lost the opening game, or the first game with Marshall County at Marshall County. They also lost after the Marshall County win here to Richland. That was the 2 district losses. Marshall County finished first in the district, and so we finished second during the regular season. That was key, and they let us get a bye in the first round, wasn't it?
Well, it really is. What that does, if you finish first or second during the regular season, you get the byes, and you also get most of the home field advantage through the tournament. Our tournament is set up where the games are played at the higher seed, so coming in second allowed us to play a couple games here at our stadium here at home. Got to give Marshall County credit. They've got a good ball club. They're well coached. All 3 games were close games. The first game was 9-5. Of course, the 12-inning game here where we won the game 1-0 in a great game. And the game we just played 2 nights ago in the district tournament where we lost 4-3.
Loretta here at Hickman County High School on Wednesday night. The final score again 6-0. The Bulldogs are guaranteed a spot in the regional tournament come what may tonight as we go over to Marshall County. And Coach, we had a chance to tape that game. It's going to be broadcast over cable channel 99. It will air on Friday at 7 o'clock, and I think we've got a little bit of the highlights from that, and we want to show you how the Bulldogs scored their first 3 runs of the ball game. So Jason, if you roll those highlights, we'll listen to the play-by-play, and then we'll come back and we'll give you a little bit more information about Bulldog baseball.
Here's a ball hit hard down to third base. Third sacker, Bennett up with it, makes the throw to first, not in time. And so nice hustle by Tanner as Tanner quickly works his way down the first base line and is aboard safely. If I'm not mistaken. Believe you are correct. Here's the pitch to Davis. Little dribbler hits the shortstop. Shortstop up with it. They won't be able to get anybody second. And Davis beats it out to first. There goes the runner down to third. He'll be there safely.
Contract hoping to sign with the Backstreet Boys.
Cochran may be a side street boy. Here's a throw from the catcher, Spivey, and stealing second is going to be Jesse Davis. And with a pitch, there's Cochran. Ball hit hard out to center field. It's going to go between the gap. That ball will roll all the way to the fence. That will score 1 run for the Dogs as Tanner scores. Cochran will be at second. Run number 2 scores as Jesse Davis comes in from second. And the Bulldogs take the lead 2-0 with 1 patch. Ball lands in the briar patch, and we'll get one of the ball boys to come out and shag it for us. Here's a ball hit down the third baseline. It's going to be fair. That ball will go all the way nearly to the fence. Left fielder makes the fielding play, finally relays in, and McKenzie will be safely aboard second. Cochran will score from second, and the Bulldogs lead 3-zip. Chunk. Here's a ball hit hard. Right fielder Griggs going back. Coming over is Tanner. Griggs back, makes the play in the outfield. Beautiful play by Casey Griggs as he caught that ball coming over his shoulder for the putout. Here's the pitch today. Squares to bunt. Bunts down the third baseline. Beautiful play. The play booted by Bennett. Everybody's going to be safe.
And we're back. A couple of really nice plays in that series of highlights there, Coach. One, the catch in the outfield by Casey Griggs. He's running, has to go over his shoulder to make a catch. I thought that ball was going to fall in. It was really hit hard. Griggs had to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, he really did. The Jordan kid really hit that ball well. I thought when he went off the bat that had a chance to go out of the ballpark. But tough to hit a home run here at our park. The ball doesn't carry real well. That was a very similar play to the one in Marshall County. I mean, it was almost a spitting image of what happened in Marshall County. But tonight, Casey went after the baseball. That's all you can say. He was going to catch it. The other night, I think he was a little bit indecisive about what to do. But on that play right there, he went to the baseball. The outfielders were communicating. You could see that on the play that they were talking to each other. So that's all you can do. They were talking, and he made a great catch.
And then another nice play that we saw is Nick Nave squares to bunt, pushes the ball down the third baseline, and you just can't beat having a lot of speed, can you?
Well, that's right. Especially in the first inning when we scored 3 runs, I think we beat out 2 infield singles. Donnie Tanner and Jesse Davis both with good speed. And, you know, that's one thing you can't defense. In football, basketball, or whatever sport you're playing, if you're coaching, you can't defense speed. There's nothing you can do about it. So those couple guys run well, and they set us up for a 3-run inning.
And so the Bulldogs win again. They defeat Loretta, and they will move over to play Marshall County tonight. That game will be scheduled to start at 6 o'clock. If we win the first game, we'll play a doubleheader. We'll turn right around and play them again. Then, win or lose, the Bulldogs will play next week in the regional tournament.
Play Monday, win or lose. If we happen to go over tonight and win 2 games, we'll host here Monday, and we'll play Harpeth. If we win 2 games tonight, we'll play here against Harpeth. If we do not meet the task and come up short tonight, then we'll go to Montgomery Central on Monday. Montgomery Central is the winner of their district. Harpeth come in second. So what happens is the number 1 teams host the games, the number 2 teams travel. So if we win 2 games tonight, we'll host Harpeth on Monday. If we lose, we'll travel to Montgomery Central on Monday.
And so the Bulldogs will definitely play in the, Region 6 AA tournament. And Coach, I know you wanted to mention while we're on talking about district tournament, I know you wanted to mention that we've got some players that won all district awards, and we've got the MVP of the district.
We sure have. We had our district meeting last Wednesday. As a matter of fact, the coaches vote on the MVP. Jesse Davis was not a unanimous winner, but he was pretty close to being unanimous. I know Marshall County thought they had a couple guys that were deserving, but Jesse Davis was the district MVP with I believe a .525 batting average, drove in about 38 runs, stole about 19 bases, so he had an excellent season. Really came around after we moved him to shortstop. I made a little switch about mid-season, switching my second baseman shortstop, just switch positions. Excuse me, but Jesse Davis, MVP of District 11 AA. Also like to congratulate Nick Nave, who was all district. With last night's win, Nave is 10-1 with an ERA somewhere in about the 1.50 range. Very good ERA. I think he's only walked like 11 guys in 75 innings, which is excellent. Drew Cochran, all district second baseman. Ended up hitting about .535, had a great season for us. Chris Orton, all-district third base, really came on strong after he hurt his ankle in Marshall County and missed about 5 games. But Chris hitting about .450, really raised his batting average. Donnie Tanner, all-district outfielder. Donnie hit about .370 for us this year, had a great season. Really probably our most improved player on the ball club. Really improved over the summer. Really worked hard during the winter, really worked hard at baseball camp, and made himself an all-district baseball player. Here's a kid who didn't even hit last year. I DH'd for him last year, so he's really come a long way. And last but not least, all-district outfielder Heath McKenzie, excuse me, who was catcher for me for 2 years. Had to bite the bullet and move him to the outfield, and really want to give Heath a hearty congratulations. Those are the type of guys you like having on your team, guys who are team guys, who gave up his position to help our team be a better team, and he made all-district also, Heath hitting about .375.
And so congratulations again to all of those players that made all-district. That is a recognition that is earned. As you said, it's voted on by the coaches, and there's coaches know who can play and who can't. I mean, you stand there, you watch everybody, you know the players, and again, congratulations to all those Bulldog players that made the all-district team. Coach, we're at the part of our broadcast here where we usually feature a little tip, and I believe you want to talk a little bit about terminology here for us.
I thought we'd talk a little about terminology today. We've gone through all the equipment and most of the pitches and stuff like that. So what I'd like to talk to today with the young kids is if you're watching a Major League Baseball game, you might hear the terminology straight steal, or you might hear delayed steal, or you might hear hit and run. So we're going to talk about those terminologies. If you're watching a game and there's a runner on first base and the coach gives the straight steal sign, if you're playing and you get the straight steal, and I'm going to tell you the differences between a straight steal and a hit and run. On a straight steal, you get your lead as the ball is going to the plate, as the pitcher makes his move to home. The runner puts his head down and he's going straight to second base. He's running straight to second, trying to steal the bag all the way. He's not picking the ball up. He puts his head down, he runs, and he listens to the coach. Now that's a straight steal. If you have a hit and run, the runner will do the same thing. He'll get his lead. As the pitcher goes to the plate, the runner will put his head down and he'll take about 3 strides. But the difference is he's going to pick the baseball up as he's running down to first base, as he's running to second base, because the hitter will swing at the pitch. On a straight steal, what we do on a straight steal is the hitter will swing through the pitch, trying to disrupt the catcher's timing, swinging through, intentionally missing the baseball where the guy can steal the base. On a hit and run, the runner will put his head down, rake to second base. The hitter will try to hit the ball and preferably hit the ball on the ground behind the runner. The difference is the runner doesn't get quite a big a lead. He doesn't go right away. He takes a little second, make sure the pitcher throws to home, picks the ball up as the ball's in flight, and then we go from there. Now, excuse me, we'll talk about a sacrifice bunt and a bunt for a base hit. Still have guys on my team who sort of get this mixed up. Most of the time with a man on first base or a man on second base, we're trying to move the base runners up into scoring position. A sacrifice bunt is just that. The hitter at the plate is going to sacrifice himself and give his out up. So what he's going to do is when the pitcher comes to the stretch and gets ready to deliver the pitch to the plate, the hitter will square around before the ball is even out of the pitcher's hands. He's going to give himself up, even trying to bunt the ball to third or bunt the ball to first. When he squares, what happens most of the time is the first baseman will charge, third baseman will charge. So while we've got there on the sacrifice, we've got infielders moving where the shortstop has to cover third, second baseman's got to cover first, first and third are charging. And when we square around trying to give ourselves up, we're opening up some holes. That's the sacrifice bunt. Give yourself up. You're going to give your out up, but we're trying to move the runners over. Now, bunting for a base hit is a little different. You're going to wait till the ball is out of the pitcher's hands before you show bunt. You're still looking like you're getting ready to hit. As the ball is on its way, the hitter will slide the bat up his hand and either try to push the ball to the first baseman or pull the ball down the third baseline. And we've got some guys who do a very good job of that, using their speed, getting the ball on the ground as you're coming out of the box, sort of a slap bunt down, coming out of the box running hard, getting the ball on the ground, trying to beat out an infield base hit. So you've got your sacrifice bunt, you've got your bunt for a base hit, you've got your straight steal, you've got your hit and run where the hitter is swinging the bat, runner picks the ball up, and also on a delayed steal, you don't see too much of this. Marshall County uses this a lot. Delayed steal is you get your primary lead. As the ball is going in, you shuffle out. You don't go right away. As the ball passes the hitter, and enters the catcher's mitt, the runner will take off. And what that does, you try to keep your second baseman, shortstop in their same position where they're at. They don't pick you up. If they don't see you break right away, usually they'll cut their eyes to the hitter. And when they do that, as the ball's crossing the plate, the runner will take off, and you try to beat the second baseman, shortstop there as the throw comes down.
So on the delayed steal, you're really trying to catch either shortstop, first base, really out of position,
right.
not covering the bag.
Exactly. Try to catch them out of position, maybe draw a throw and nobody be there. Delayed steal's great on that, where you might delayed steal, nobody covers the bag, the ball goes through, and we might end up on third base.
Well, I noticed in the Loretta game that we had last night, there was a couple of times when Odin, their starting pitcher, turned and wanted to throw, I think, to second, and there was nobody on the bag. I mean, he would have thrown it all the way out to center field. What do you look for when you're third base coach and you're sitting out there and you got a runner on first? What is your key to make you believe that I can steal second?
Well, what you got to do is we watch the other team take infield. We definitely watch to see how the catcher throws during infield. We also watch to see how the outfielders throw during their outfield practice. We like to see who's got a strong arm and where in which position he plays. We like to watch their cutoff guys to see what kind of cutoffs they do, if the cutoff man has a strong arm or not. So that's why you see the other team take infield. We line up in front of our dugout and we're watching the other team take infield practice. Now, I stress when we run the bases that we make big turns and we try to force the other team to throw the ball back into the infield. If not, if we catch players, we've played some teams this year where all their outfielders, all they wanted to do was throw the ball to the cutoff man. We knew that in our scouting reports before the game. So if I've got a guy on first base and we say we get a base hit to right field, we're going to hustle on over to third base. And when we see that ball start to come into the cutoff man, basically your cutoff man should be behind the mound, your first baseman behind the mound. But a lot of teams send their shortstop or second baseman out, and instead of throwing the ball to the infield, they just lob the ball into their second baseman and shortstop, who is behind second base. So that is a long throw for a high school kid. Even if he does have the ball before we get to third, he's got to turn, he's flat-footed, and you've got to try to make a 180-foot throw while you're flat-footed. That's a tough play, even for a big league player. So we look, we watch other teams take infield practice. We see where the strong arms are. We see how they line up on their cutoff positions, and we try to be as aggressive as we can. There are times this year I've gotten guys thrown out, and probably, the fans probably think I'm a bonehead. But we try to make the other team make the plays on us, and we've been more successful than we failed.
Well, trying to force a play, and particularly at the high school level, I think is pretty sound coaching strategy because, as we've seen, anything can happen. We've had some things happen that we have created, and we've had other teams when we force the action make that error. And glad that you took time to point those out to us, Coach. Thank you. That's going to wrap up our program for today. We want to invite you folks to stay tuned to Kicks 96 next week, as it will be regional tournament time. The Bulldogs will play tonight. They will play Marshall County at Marshall County, and we want you to tune in to cable channel 99 and watch the Mike Smithson Show. We will have another edition of the Mike Smithson Show. It'll be regional tournament edition next week for the Mike Smithson Show. We also want to thank our sponsor, which is Smithson's Nursery, located out on Highway 100. We want to thank them for sponsoring us, and we want to remind you folks, hey, Mom's Day is coming up, buddy. Time is drawing nigh. And travel out to Smithson's Nursery. Don will be glad to take care of you, Coach.
Well, I tell you what, you got about 3 days before Mother's Day. I think I would rather play Marshall County than make my mother mad.
Oh, so I know.
Don't make those moms mad. Don's got something for you going out and do your shopping out there.
And so call Smithson's Nursery or go by and see them out on Highway 100, and they'll be glad to fix you up. I'm going to be making a trip right after school today, I guarantee you. And again, thank you folks for tuning in to this edition of the Mike Smithson Show, and we'll remind you, tune in again next week for more of the Mike Smithson Show.
Sitting in the morning sun.
Elijah. Elijah. Elijah.
Yes? What is it?
Let's be talking about Mike Smithson.
The clip is over?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. Well, it has been certainly another eventful Throwback Thursday. But now, the clip is over, so go home.